Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Daily High with your host, Matt McGregor and Tone Vays. Good morning, Tone. How are you, mate?
Morning, Matt. Well, it depends, right? It's a combination of I'm happy that I was right and it kind of fell down to 60, and at the same time, I'm not happy that it fell down to 60. Yeah, and I forgot my tea. It's sitting over there in the kitchen. So once you go to screen share, I'm gonna jump up and go get my tea.
Yeah, let's do that. One, two, three, and we're off your camera. All right. So, look, yesterday's show was kind of a good show for Matt here because I've got these lines in here. I'll explain them right now. We're on the 4 hour time frame. I was short from 63,642. And I said in the show that I really can see three things that I was looking for. It's not a prediction; it's just what I was hoping for, and I don't know. I got lucky, right? So we came back into the red wave here, just below the 200 simple moving average. We hit bang on the daily, the 30 and 50 simple moving average, which I was looking for as well. And on the weekly time frame, we hit on the 7 simple moving average as it loads right now. 7 simple moving average. So I was looking for all four of those things there to the downside with the short trade. And I mentioned in last night's show, I don't know if I have the fortitude to hold this all the way down to 60. The price was at about 62, something like that, 62,800 in the
Oh,
show.
but it fell so fast, you didn't really have a choice.
Fell so fast, didn't have a choice, which is what I also wish I said in the show that I like to make the money fast on the downside. And I ended up pulling 44% out in this trade last night. I closed it out at 66.45, which was, I think, a really good trade. So I'm going to get rid of these lines here, but pulling out 44% in a day is, what more can you ask for? I am currently in a long trade right now. I re-up to the upside at 61,114. But look, I've got serious concern about this trade as it stands right now. That when we had a really good response and we came up back to the 7 simple moving average on the 4 hour time frame. And even on this candle right here, we've come up to like the dollar. And these were to the dollar as well, that it's just moved in time. But I mean, look at this, man. People who think that moving averages or something are hokum, I'm with you. I hear you. But I mean, look at this motherfucker right there. What do you want me to say? Is it bullshit? I don't know. I'm leaning on no, it's not. I think I've got the best moving averages here on alphanumerics, and I think that you should probably copy and paste what I've got. That's come back up and retested the 7. So on the 4 hour time frame, I've got no faith in this trade until we start to clear at least that 7 simple moving average in these highs here. We did have a bit of a spike in the last 30 minutes or whatever, but yeah, we'll see how this trade goes. I've got no faith in it whatsoever. I just really wanted to catch the short and then to get the rebound. But if this rebound doesn't happen real fast, I'll have to close this trade out. I want to see this recover. But then you're faced with the issue of what we're going to recover and come back to test the breakout point and test the 64,000 zone, touch these moving averages again. It's tricky now. Like we've got work to do here. We've got work to do. I like the RSI on the 4 hour that we put in the low back here at the lowest point, and then we've come up. We got another green diamond here, so we retouched again, but from a higher point. Maybe we can put in like this higher low structure and rebuild from here. I'm in the long, so I'm playing the game, but the 4 hour is not giving me any more than that. I don't know. The daily time frame, once again, we talk about these simple moving averages. It makes total sense to put on a trade, even right here where we currently are, because you can put a real clear stop loss in place. I mean, if depending what kind of leverage you're using, but if you're a spot piece of cake on this trade right now, but if you're 10x leverage like I am, you got to be careful. You try and buy exactly off these moving averages because you want to get the distance between your stop loss and your entry as close as possible if you're levered up. But I think that let's just talk about spot for example. This is a fine trade right here, but I have got leverage. I couldn't let it run that far. I'd have to monitor it a bit closer. But yeah, look, I really want this to play out here, which makes total sense to put in the low, put in a higher low, put in a higher low again. We broke out from this zone right here. We finally broke this zone. We come back and retest the breakout point, what I said last night, gather up steam and come up and try again on the second attempt. Then I think it's gone. It's gone for weeks. So we'll see how that plays out. I'll go to the weekly just quickly to finish off. Same thing. We're only 2 days into this week, or 3 days, 2 days. I'll call it 3, but I don't know. We come back down, retest the 7 after a really convincing weekly close. This thing could close green for all we know if it builds back up from here. I think it's got a lot to do with the stock market and macroeconomics in general here. But I like this entry right here off the 7 simple moving average on the weekly time frame. I'm feeling really good. It still is a good MRI count. If we come back up here, break the loose SR, get the green star on the weekly time frame on this candle, magic. We're away. But we haven't done it yet. So as I come back to you, Tone, there isn't anything else to add except for please like and subscribe. Please share it with your friends. Use the affiliate links in the description below. Use the free bot. Join the Discord group. All of it's free. It's right there at a click of a button in the description below. And Tone, I can't wait to hear what you have to say. Do you have anything else to add? Are you still bearish, mate?
Not as much as I was before, because the first level of a pullback has happened. Now there is one additional level of a pullback that can still happen. So I'm not rushing into my long trade yet. I haven't seen enough strength off the $60,000 bounce, but let's go and discuss it. We're going to go through, I'm about 50-50 on good news versus bad news, where yesterday
Yeah,
it was mostly bad news.
51-49. You can't be 50-50. That doesn't help me.
I know. If I have to lean 51-49, I am gonna lean 51 into the bearish direction, because you always want to be extra conservative. But let's talk about the good news. The good news is we got a proper rejection
Look at
and
that.
at the top of the channel, because we were getting a little overheated, and now we had the perfect support right in the middle of the channel. I mean, I have not messed with this
No,
channel in months.
that's
It's been the
great.
same for months, and we literally touched the
Yeah.
middle of this channel, which is exactly what I wanted, right? I wanted us
Yeah.
to come at
Don't
least.
TA sucks. TA is
I
total
know,
poker bullshit, right?
I know. This channel has been here for months, and we literally bounced right off that middle. Now, it doesn't mean that that's going to be the ultimate bounce. We are on a green 2, so we have started to flip the indicator, and we do need a new swing high in order to get a green star candle. Now, ideally, the low is in. We rally up the rest of the week. We still close the candle red, and then next week we break the top of current candle, and that creates the massive breakout. That's the perfect scenario. Therefore, my allocation remains what it is, and I'm looking to go 100% long once the price gets back to approximately
What's that blue
64,000.
moving average there? Is that a 20? Like it hit that perfectly as well. Like all the
That
moving
is the
average.
9. That's
Yeah,
the 9 period moving
beautiful,
out.
lovely. Look at that. Great.
And I am going to try to do a show with Mark this week. Today is going to be tricky. I think we have Twitter Spaces today, and I really wanted to do a political show on my channel today. So doing a show with Mark today would be challenging, but tomorrow, hopefully, we can get that show in. And I'm ready for that long-term moving average to finally start trending up, which will happen the moment the price of Bitcoin starts trading above, well, 65,000. Because all you got to do is go back 30 candles. If I hold Shift, if I go back 30 candles right here, right there, right? If I go back 30 candles from next candle, that's 29, that's 30. So it'll take about 2 more candles, right? Once new candles are closing higher than these candles are dropping out, the moving average starts to turn up. So in a couple of weeks, when we start trading above 65, the long-term moving average starts trending up, and everything gets in line with moving averages. So just a couple, like maybe 2 more weeks at most to go, assuming the low is in, of course. Now, here's what I don't like about this. What I don't like about it is it has now been about 12 hours since the low, and we are still way too close to the low.
Yeah.
We need to get this candle up to the middle of yesterday's crash, and then it creates a situation where you only had a few hours to buy the low, and as long as we hang out here any longer, I am going to be looking for one final touch, one final swing to 58-ish area. I don't really see us going much lower than that because of time. Time has now reached the point where I'm expecting the bull market to resume. And this is why I think that at this point, any pullback is definitely worth taking a swing at for a buying opportunity. Now, the daily chart can still get us into an MRI buy situation. Now, I really wanted to see this go slower down because I want to be able to buy at the support line with the reversal candle on an MRI buy, and ideally where some of these other indicators would get to bottom out. Let's say the RSI gets into oversold, which probably would require a much lower price. It's still kind of high. The MACD literally just crossed over, so it's got plenty of downside to go. And the CMF has remained surprisingly very, very resilient, relatively speaking. And on the weekly chart, I actually like where the oscillators are at, especially the MACD. The MACD on the weekly chart is ready for a beautiful reversal above the zero line, which is very, very key. And even the CMF has held up pretty damn well over the last, several frustrating weeks. So I do like what is happening in the oscillators under the hood in a lot of them, and this is .EMA, and it's also looking pretty good for them.
Yeah.
So I do like where the oscillators stand. And one more thing on the daily side is I had this line drawn right here. This was my first level of a pullback, and with the right price action, now that we've reached this pullback, that can give me a lot of confidence that we are finally ready to make that elusive higher low. We have not yet had a proper higher low. Now, if we go back up and we rise above 64.5, we will solidify a proper higher low, at least on a daily scale. The weekly scale is still going to be a little bit tricky. A weekly scale would require another candle near 60,000 and then go up from there to solidify a weekly higher low. But even a daily higher low can get us properly confident back into the market. So that's all I pretty much have to say on Bitcoin. Oil is back to a new swing high, but that makes sense because of what happened in the Middle East.
Still a buy.
Right,
That's a buy. That's a buy again, Tone. I reckon that's a bloody good buy again. Higher low, green star again. That's a buy.
Yeah, so it is a buy because of
Yeah.
so here's how I try to explain it, right? Why did the markets crash? Let me see how the S&P 500 did yesterday. Remember, yesterday, as far as I understand it, and it's still a little confusing, and this is why I want to do my political show after doing a little more research. I believe Iran has officially declared war on Israel by firing off the rockets, and Israel has not retaliated yet, but are threatening to. And once they do, Iran's going to retaliate some more. But Iran has made it clear that, they've declared war on Israel.
Gloves
and
off.
and what happens in that situation from a market's perspective? And I've said this many, many times. We cover it more often on Twitter Spaces. People that are invested in speculative assets hate uncertainty. Okay, now there is different types of uncertainty. There is completely unknown uncertainty, and then there is known uncertainty. Now, when missiles first get fired, there is complete chaos and uncertainty. And when there is uncertainty, people sell risky assets and they go into cash. The moment there is certainty, right? The moment Iran declared war on Israel, you now have certainty, right? Because before that, before they declared that, you didn't know what was happening. The moment there is certainty, people rationally think about what that certainty is, and they now enter risky assets accordingly.
Even
Okay?
even even bad news is
Correct.
certainty, right? It doesn't matter. It's just
Correct.
clarity. Yeah. Yeah.
Correct, right? Exactly. And it's the same thing that happened, when there was the assassination attempt on Trump. The first thing you do is you sell your speculative assets until you find out, is he alive? Is he not alive? Is what's going on with the president? Who's going to be the new nominee? And once there is certainty of what's happening, even if you think it's the worst thing in the world, once you have certainty, you now start to look for speculative assets to take advantage of that certainty. Okay,
Mm.
so I wouldn't be surprised if the initial move on rockets being fired from Iran to Israel would cause a crash in the price of oil, and then after that, after oh, Iran declared war on Israel, let me think about what that means. Oh, that means Iran is probably going to cut off the Straits of
Supply.
Hormuz, and Israel might bomb Iranian oil factories. So guess what? I think that means the price of oil is going to go up. So I'm going to now that I've pulled everything I didn't know was happening into cash, now I can properly think about this and I can deploy this cash into the oil market, and therefore oil is now at a new swing high. Okay, now this happens on the a human level with the person that has the slowest amount of thinking skills, and it happens at the bot level that is instant, right? Both of these things still need to go through the process of pulling speculative assets into cash and then redeploying them based on new certain information, no matter how bad that information is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well
So
put.
I,
Yeah.
I expect one more thing. I expect this news to significantly rise the price of Bitcoin for the same reason it rose the price of oil. Once people logically think about what this means, right? Imagine it starts to escalate between Iran and Israel, and suddenly the UAE and Dubai is caught in the crosshairs. Okay, all those rich people are going to move out of Dubai, right? They have two places to put their money. They're not going to go through the banking system, either Tether or Bitcoin. Now, we don't really know which direction they're going to go, but I think enough people will say, I'd rather travel with the Bitcoin in my head than Tether in an exchange.
Well, if they do that, Tone, please let me know because I'm looking for a place in Dubai. They've got very good tax rules there.
Okay, so and on that note, oil is rising. Gold should also be rising in the near future, and I remain bullish on gold for at least a few more weeks till tensions die down, hopefully. And the stock market, I am also curious because yesterday I just had a really busy day. So relatively speaking, the stock market did not panic all that much, but we do have a weekly, sorry, that's a monthly, but month is only a few days in. We do have a weekly red star candle, and I do think that the markets will probably rise because once again, the the military conflict is not on American shores yet. Okay, Iran doesn't have the capability, and Russia hasn't entered to defend Iran. So
Mm.
until the wars come to American shores, American stock market is the ultimate of safety for speculative assets, other than Bitcoin, of course.
Yeah.
So we remain bullish, but vigilant of the fact that the MRI top on a weekly scale is coming. All right. And on that note, just want to pull up my spreadsheet. We have the end of month number right here. Last quarter, we had 66,000 Bitcoins purchased by the ETFs, with 18,000 being purchased in the month of September. I have stopped updating this weekly. I will now be updating this monthly, but I'll update it throughout the month. So probably at the end of this week, I'll have the new month here the month of October. And another thing that I'm probably going to cover on my channel, we are just 1 month away from fiscal year end for the data. So another month of data is out. And for the US, nope, that's bond data, that's GDP data. Another month of data is out for the US budget. So fiscal year ended this month. Fiscal year ends at the end of September, but the data for the end of September doesn't come out till the end of October. So we have to wait 1 more month to get the data, and then I'm going to do a whole podcast on how did fiscal year 2023 compare to 2022 and what to expect for fiscal year 2024. And surprisingly, the Fed may still lower rates, which is a whole other discussion. Maybe Mark Wood and I, or I really gotta, get a hold of Lynn Alden, and then there will be an awesome economic discussion on the U.S. budget. So if you want to take a look at the numbers, you gotta find this website here. Monthly reports, where are they here? Net interest, Dollar Treasury monthly reports right here. This is the website. You can Google for this. This is fiscal year 2024. The latest month would probably be here. It just came out right there. Joint statement, current issue, the August one. They released August, and now they still have to release September. So this would have just come out. Here's the August. You open this PDF. This is August 31, released yesterday on October 1st. And you can see the deficit will be over $2 billion when next month is over. So that's, we only have 1 month left. We're at 1.9, pretty much. 1.9, that's a little steep. And you can compare it to the month before. And just out of curiosity, real quick. No, not the month before, sorry, the August of the year before. Interesting. Where is September? Huh. Why are they missing September? Government websites, man. Look at this. Look at this. Last year, July, August, and where the hell is September, right? Because the year starts in October. Good job, government website. Good job. So we're missing the, I have to find it somewhere. Jesus Christ.
That's where they bury the details and the skeletons.
I know. I know. So at this time last year, the government was only in debt 1.5, and at this time this year, the government is in debt 1.9. That's a problem. That's a huge, huge, huge disparity here. Last year's deficit was a total of 1.7, and we're already at 1.9. So we're going to break $2 trillion in deficit. So this is the kind of stuff I really like to research, and hopefully you guys find it interesting. I got not an exercise I wanted to do to find a missing government report, but I guess I'll have to. All right. On this note, I'm good. Matt, anything else?
No, mate, that's fantastic.
Hey guys, don't forget the Financial Summit in-person event will take place in the Maldives. These are going to be the villas you will stay in. These and these. Little upgrade if you want the private pool. These don't have a private pool, but they're also on the water. So get in on this while rooms are still available. All right, off to you.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Look, two things came out of tonight. One, that I think we're on exactly the same page when it comes to the price of Bitcoin right now. We said the same thing. It was great to be on the same page there. And you invented a new word, digilant, which is diligent and vigilant amalgamated. And I think that digilant could really take off. So on that bombshell, we'll see you tomorrow, same time. Thanks for watching, guys.
No, I should try to trademark another word. I'm already trademarking unconfiscatable.
Digilant. I like it. I like it, mate.
We're gonna look that up. Later, man.
See ya.